On May 30th, 2026, the Cherokee County Republican Party of Georgia invited several of the individuals who made the June runoff to speak at you monthly breakfast. Please enjoy this excerpt from that event.
Here we go. All right. A lot of you folks here don't know me, so let me tell you who I am first, and then we'll get into this race and where we're at. Folks that know me know I didn't grow up with privilege. We didn't even know how to spell privilege. Most of my influences when I was growing up as a young man were not good influences. My father left when I was about 10. Folks, the men in my life were alcoholics, or a lot of them drug addicts and that kind of thing. And I started down that path as a young man, even pretty much almost all the way through my 20s. That I was trying to repeat those patterns. And then one day God heard the prayers of my mother and grandmother, and he got a hold of me, and I started to turn that around and build a life. So I did that. My wife and I, for 38 years, we raised a family, we built a business. I became a licensed electrician and started building a business until one day, Barack Obama and the Democrats put me out of business when they passed a bill called Dodd-Frank. My business, I was in the alarm and security business, and I was securing banks and credit unions. And when they passed Dodd-Frank, they said, they came down here and said, no more construction.
Cards, aren't they in there?
Wiped out my business. And so I got out of the truck, turned off Rush Limbaugh, and got out of the truck and I started getting involved in the Republican Party and the Tea Party and all those things, and going down to the Capitol making a difference. I worked at the county level, the district level, the state level. We did the work. My wife and I both were in the party completely. That's where we got to know Barry Loudermilk. He was our state rep. We helped him run for state senate. We knocked doors. We made phone calls. We did all the things that you do. 2 years later, when Barry decided to run for Congress, he asked me to manage his campaign. And I said, I don't know why you would ask me. I'm not a professional political guy.
Buy some decks of cards right there.
By the government.
Can you walk them through that?
You have a conversation.
So we thing, I think.
We won a 7-way race, and then I became his chief of staff in 2015. So Barry and I have served this district since 2015 without ever letting Washington, D.C. get into our blood. We never became part of that thing. We never went to we don't do their cocktail parties and do all those things. And for the last 3.5 years, I have been right beside Barry, deconstructing the lies of Pelosi and Cheney's sham J6 committee. We dismantled every single one of Cassidy Hutchinson's lies. We proved that we found the clip where Nancy Pelosi admitted that she's the one who should have called the National Guard. She's the one who turned down the National Guard. And we proved that Donald Trump did in fact approve the National Guard on that day. I won't get too deep into where we're still at, because I haven't been in the office and they're still doing this investigation, but there's a lot more to come on that front. And most
I'll round you one up.
Where the truth is headed about J6. So now I'm running and I'm asking for your vote. We're down to a runoff. I'm up against somebody who, if Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff had a child, it would probably be John Coward. Because this guy, before he started running for this seat, now he's already run against Marjorie one time. And and he told the people of the 14th, he said, I love this district. If I lose this, you're not going to see me going to jump in another district. One more. Where is it? Over here. Before he decided to run for this, he deleted an entire Twitter account, almost 4,000 tweets that he's now calling fake news. But they're there. He supported Liz Cheney. He called all of us a cult if we support Donald Trump. He gave money to people like Adam Kinzinger. I mean, they're just endless stream of tweets attacking our presidents, asking him why isn't he in jail, all those things. And now, he's spending, probably getting close to $3 million to get a job that pays $174K. He's spending all this money to create on your TV and on your mailbox, this MAGA guy. He's got Trump by him every time. He's had a road to Damascus moment, apparently, right before he jumped in this race. He's not a Republican. He's sure not a conservative. And most of you, a lot of you in this room have sent me the text that says, what is this? He's calling you swamp. He says you attacked the president. Well, this is what Democrats do. There's a screenshot of one of the ads, if any of you have seen it, where it says, Rob Maggerson on Trump. He said lies. He said Trump lies. Nancy Pelosi once described what she called the wrap-up smear. And that's where you send something to the paper to get them to write about it, and then you use that article as a source to show what you're saying is true. I can show you the Facebook post. It was the day after Donald Trump was shot in Butler, and I did a post, and I said, despite his whole first term just being filled with lies and fabrications, he still was successful, and we'll stand by this man no matter what. They went and found the word lies in that post. So it had Trump in it, and it had lies in it. But it was in defense of our president that I've been standing with since 2016, without fail. So he says, Rob says lies and Trump. And you see on the little ad, it says, source, AJC. That's Nancy Pelosi's wrap-up smear. That's what this guy's doing. We're up against millions of dollars, and he's gone and got some ruthless DC consultants. But folks know me, and we're gonna win this thing. God's gonna get us through this thing, because he's gonna go and he says, the other ad is, he says, Rob hired his wife. First of all, that shows that he doesn't understand the job that he's trying to get, because the chiefs of staff don't hire staff. Only members of Congress can hire staff. Now, members of Congress can't hire their spouses and their family. That's all off limits. But there's no reason they can't hire a team, a scheduler and a chief of staff, who very few were in the fight for liberty for 10 years before we ever went there. So he wanted people around him, and Rob made all these millions. Go back and do this ridiculous math. He's trusting low information voters, because if you do the math, I was always middle of the pack with regard to pay, and actually was at the bottom of the scale for a scheduler. So it's all lies. It's all meant to tell you and sell you somebody that doesn't exist, and he's ruthless, and there's no telling what he'll do in this race. But we're going to win it. We're going to go up there and we're going to fight with Donald Trump. We're going to continue to expose the lies of the left. We're going to continue to expose the corruption and waste, fraud, and abuse, and we're going to balance our budget. And all this can be done, but you have to be a conservative, and I'm going to stop that. So it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out he's lying about this stuff. He's an imposter.
Where is he?
He's in Italy, actually, on a family vacation today. He hasn't shown up to a GOP event since the very first forum over at Canton Courthouse. Not a single GOP in a single county has he darkened the doors, period. The very first one. All right. Chairman Olin.
Thank you, Rob. We have a couple of questions for you. The first question involves immigration policy. Our constituents would like to know how strong is your support for ICE, and do you support a pathway for illegals whose only crime is being in the country illegally?
Yeah, there's a pathway. You go back home and then come back into the country. And I can pivot and bring in how I feel about the Federal Department of Education. My idea is to close down that monstrosity of a building up there and turn that into an ICE detention facility where we can hold all those people, because it's massive. It's a whole city block and they have multiple buildings. So I say we turn that into a detention facility. I stand with ICE 100%. And I think these idiots up there in New Jersey, they should all be arrested immediately. Whether we can do it through Congress or somebody has to force it through the courts, sanctuary cities is absolutely unconstitutional.
All right, next question, Rob. If you're elected and you're headed to Washington, day one you set foot in the door, what are your priorities?
Get some furniture in my office, because I've been there before and I know what you got to do. But the day one priority is to start to sign on these bills. I've been talking a lot with Clay Fuller over the 14th. He's doing a fantastic job for the folks over there already. There's a great class to come in here. I'm gonna start to work with different members of Congress. Tim Burchett, is one of my favorites, but we're going to start to build alliances with these people so that we can figure out how to push these things through. And we don't have any control over the Senate. I don't know if Mike's still here anymore, but we've got to, here's my thing. As a single member of Congress, I can't go up there like I'm an executive and do things. But what we can do, I always listen to what Reagan, they asked Ronald Reagan, how are you going to get your agenda done? He said, I'm going to get the people with it. I'm going to get the people. We know Congress is full of a lot of finger-in-the-wind politicians, right? What do we have to do? Make the wind blow. You guys are the wind. We are the wind. We can do that. I'm going to be a lot like Tim Burchett. If you don't know him, go look him up on social. He's talking to the folks every day. He's informing you about what's going on, and that's who I plan to be up there.
All right, thank you.